Hi there, welcome to SharqiDance. My name is Yame, and every other Thursday I'm here on this channel breaking down basic belly dance movements to help you get started on your belly dance journey or to help you practice between classes. Today I'm going to be breaking down a movement called Choo Choo Shimmies. At least this is what I call the movement and what a lot of dancers I know call the movement, but other dancers might call it something else. So there are sometimes multiple names for the same movement in this dance. And this movement was requested by my beginner students. So if you're watching this, I hope that this helps you practice. And without further ado, let's just get up and get started. The Choo Choo Shimmy looks like this. And before we get to actually breaking down this movement, let's talk a little bit about Relevé. So relevé is a French term that's used in ballet to refer to when you go on the balls of your feet. And so I use this term when I'm teaching belly dance as well, because there's no point in reinventing the wheel if there's already a perfectly fine term that exists for the movement or position that we're using. So we're going to be going up on the balls of the feet for this movement. And before we do so, let's just make sure that we can do that with the proper body mechanics so that we can avoid hurting ourselves. So let's start by spreading the toes a little bit and pressing down into the balls of the feet for the heels to come up. Now, once we get up there, we want our weight to be towards the big toe sides of the feet and not towards the pinky sides of the feet. So I'm just going to show you that on one foot. Big toe side of the foot, relevé, versus pinky toe side of the foot. So what happens when we place our weight on the pinky toe side of the foot? Our line breaks at the ankle, right? So it curves in. We call that sickling the foot. So the foot becomes sickled, and it becomes a danger for our ankles. We could sprain our ankles, or we could also hurt our pinky toes. So we want to keep the weight towards the big toe side of the foot so that our weight of our body is supported by those bigger bones around the big toe as opposed to the tiny bones of the pinky toes. So when we get up on the balls of the feet, we want the weight towards the big toe sides of the feet. It's right around the mound of the big toe as opposed to letting it go around to the pinkies, right? So watch that in yourself. Make sure that you're feeling your weight placement in the correct side of the foot and not allowing your foot to sickle, not allowing the foot to go towards the pinky toe side, okay? So if that means you don't go up very high, that's okay. You can just go up very low. It could be a very low relevé, just lifting your heels less than an inch, maybe half an inch, sometimes maybe even less off of the floor. That's totally fine. We don't have to be all the way up here, right? The other point for our relevé in this case is going to be that as we lift the heels up, we want to bend the knees a little bit forward. So we don't want to actually be straight up. We're bending the knees. We're keeping the softness to the knees so that when we start moving our feet, our hips can move up and down. So knees bending forward, up on relevé, knees bending forward, belly engaged, tailbone pointing down. So make sure that as you're bending the knees, that what's happening is not this. You're not bending the knees and hinging at the hips here. You're bending the knees forward and keeping the pelvis stable, stacked underneath the rib cage, the lower belly engaged, and the tailbone down. So let me shake that out. It's a little bit difficult to hold that position for a long time. But that's a little bit of a note on relevé for our Choo Choo Shimmies. And now let's go a little bit into the movement breakdown, and I'll tie that back into our relevé technique very, very shortly. So we're gonna start our movement with our hip hits, side to side. I'll link that in the description below and on the video if you need a full breakdown of the hip hits movement. And I'm gonna bring the feet a little bit closer in. So this is not gonna be a wide hip hit side to side. It's going to be fairly narrow. So maybe feet about hip width apart, maybe even a little bit narrower. But I still want this straightening of the leg, shifting of the weight to that foot on the leg that's straightening, right? So we're straightening side and then alternating side to side. And as I'm straightening the knee, I'm always only straightening to soft position. So I'm not locking the knees back, right? Still keeping them soft, going from a more bent position into a less bent position or a soft, straight position. And each time I'm straightening the knee or soft straightening the knee, that hip bone kind of goes a little to the side and a little bit up. So make sure that the movement of the knees is corresponding to movement in the hips. So it's not just the knees going and the hips not going anywhere. So it's a little bit like a pendulum, side to side, but it's a sharp movement. So now, when we're not weighted on that foot, let's pick up the other foot. So let's just kind of exaggerate the step. You're driving the heel down, straightening the leg, shifting your weight to that side, and the side that's unweighted, let's just pick that foot up off the floor. Let's do a couple more like this. And then faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. All right, shake that out. Take a deep breath. We need to catch our breath for this one because Choo Choo Shimmies can be a little bit cardio intensive. Now let's get up on the balls of the feet, remembering right weight towards the big toe sides of the feet. Knees bending forward, tailbone down, belly engaged. If you need to hold on to something for balance, I forgot to mention it before, but it can be helpful to grab a chair or something, even the wall, so that you can keep your balance. It's a little tricky to hold, to keep that balance, but once we're moving and stepping, it's a little bit easier. Anyway, so let's get up on that relevé, get up into your Choo Choo Shimmy posture, and from here, let's get our hip hits going, side to side. And when you're not stepping on that foot, the opposite foot, right, the unweighted foot is coming slightly up off the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8. And 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6. Now I'll show you from the side. So notice, as I'm stepping on a foot, the leg is straightening to a soft, straight position, and the unweighted foot is bending more. So I'm alternating bending and soft straightening the leg. And each accent of the hips is a step on the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6. And out faster. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. So this is our full speed. Of course, we could go even faster than that, but at this speed, it's already a shimmy. This is what we call a Choo Choo Shimmy. Let's relax, shake it out. Thighs might be burning, heart is pumping. Take a deep breath. And a full breath all the way out. We're gonna get back into it one more time and just travel a little bit side to side with it and talk a little bit more about the positioning of the feet, options for how to position the feet. So another deep breath and full breath all the way out. Let's get up again in that relevé, knees soft, tailbone down, belly engaged. From here, start to step. 3, 4, 5, 6, speed it up. And 1, and 2, and 3. So right now my feet are parallel. Let's speed it up. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4. Another option is to stack one foot in front of the other. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. And let's switch sides. 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and so now that foot that's in front, we can lead the way, travel towards that side, switch feet, and I'm kind of sliding my hips so that my hip leads the traveling movement. Switch which foot is in front, travel to the side, and switch, and travel, and relax. Ooh, shake it out. Take a few deep breaths. And another thing to keep in mind with Choo Choo Shimmies, so we want to try to be fairly light on our feet, which is a little bit difficult. So it's very easy to go into stomping the feet. And we want to stay light. So even though we're pressing down into the balls of the feet and using that to drive the hip accents, we still want to be light on the feet so that it doesn't sound like a bunch of horses galloping, right? So stay soft, stay light, shake it out. Let's take a deep breath and reach all the way up. Breathe out, bring the hands down into heart center. If you made it through the end of this video, just give yourself a moment of gratitude to yourself for showing up and to your body for enabling you to do this today. And then here at the end, if you're really feeling this in your quads, maybe stretch out your quads a bit. So hold on to your foot, try to point that knee down and press your foot towards your butt. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. And switch sides, and always feel free to hold on to something for balance. It's not that easy to keep your balance on one leg if you're not used to it. So stretching out the other side. Let's stretch out our waist a little bit, bending the knee, lengthening the side of the waist. Deep breath. And take it into the other side. And slowly release back to center. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned something new. If you did, be sure to hit like, subscribe to be notified of future videos. Maybe leave a comment letting me know what you thought of the video and letting me know how you're doing with your practice. And of course, if you are interested in learning belly dance, taking real classes, live online classes that are interactive with real-time feedback and support, I do offer online classes. So check out SharqiDance.com, link in the description below to see what are my latest offerings. And I hope to see you there. If not, I will see you here next time. Happy dancing. Bye.